Humanity has finally destroyed itself. Humans have vanished from the face of the earth. There's nobody keeping the buildings, nobody to mow the grass, nobody to keep the power on. We're all gone. So, what then happens to all the other animals? The pets in our houses, the wild animals living in the hills, the zoo animals? Here's the answer. So I'm going to say right away that if you don't like the idea of seeing animals fighting, then turn this video off right now and watch one of my other videos, because this game is all about animal survival. It's not done horrifically, and it's not done specifically to show any cruelty. You take the role of an animal in Tokyo. Humans are gone. You have to eat. You have to survive. And to do that, you have to either flee or fight. This is not a new concept. In 2008, there was a television program that showed on the History Channel called Life After People. In this program, it took into account that something happened to take out all human life in one day. Poof, we're all gone. So what happens next? So this game goes along the same lines, but focuses on the animals left behind. What would happen to the little Pomeranians that have those little sweaters on that are forced to hunt for themselves? Yeah, Poms in sweaters. Yeah, because putting clothing on animals is just so lame. When you start the game, the survival mode is the only option open. Here, the game teaches you the basic controls. When you get a hang of that, then the story opens up. But you can't play it yet, as you still need to unlock more chapters. To unlock chapters, you need to play the survival mode more. You get the opening choice of being a Pomeranian and being a hunter, or being a deer and hunting for plants and avoiding carnivores. And how does the lowly Pomeranian take down a wild boar? Well, by sneaking up, waiting for these jaws to mean that you found a weak spot, probably the jugular. Then, when they become red, pressing the L1 trigger. BAM! Then it's nom 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 nom. But it's not only about eating or not being eaten, but about looking for computer chips. These computer chips contain information about this world's history the animals don't understand, but you will. They also unlock the story chapters so that you can play that mode more. When you play survival, you try to have your lineage last as long as you can. That means looking for vegetation if you're an herbivore, or hunting for animals if not. And after you become a veteran or a boss at hunting or eating, and once you mark your territory at 4 checkpoints, then you can find a mate and, well, do what comes naturally. Oh, ooh, my controller just shook. Ew. A giant pink-hearted mate will only be with you if you have a boss ranking. A light pink-hearted one will be with you if you only have the veteran rank, and the black-hearted ones, well, they're pretty easy. The better the mate, the better the offspring who will take on the traits of yours, and the more offspring that you will get. Then after you do your deed, you then control the offspring. The parents stay put and your new pups or foals go out to mark their own territory and make it for as long as they can. And the more children you produce, the better your chances for survival, because if one gets taken out, the computer switches to the next one. Run out of kids, but no pun intended, and the game ends. And the more siblings you have following you, the better chance that you can take down larger prey in fights, or run away from attacks. If you're playing as a group of herbivores and start being chased by a carnivore, you can separate one of the group by pressing the triangle button. Because remember, you don't have to be faster than the enemy, just faster than the guy behind you. You would totally outrun me, wouldn't you? But it's not just other creatures that you have to defend yourself from, but from the elements as well. There are poisoned plants, poisoned animal corpses, and a deadly poison gas that you have to avoid. Gain too much on your poison counter, and you'll lose health rapidly, and you die. You can stave off poison by eating, but there's only so much that you can do. Maybe you can mate quickly enough to produce offspring, but that offspring might be born with poison. Sometimes the odds are just not in your favor. There are over 50 different animals to unlock, with even more if you count the alternate fur patterns for some of them. And all of them play relatively similar to each other, with each of them having different strengths, different weaknesses, and toughnesses. And you can boost their stats with clothing that you unlock and put on them. Clothing and items can be found by opening up presents that have these things in them, or you can unlock them by completing goals. And some clothing come in sets too, so if you equip the full set, you can unlock hidden special abilities. The music for this title is really actually pretty interesting, and I spaced it out for a while, it was so good. It became part of the game and part of the experience. And at least one guy who made the music used to make music for the Konami Beatmania games. Very enjoyable. The graphics are interesting, and while they aren't the best for the PS3 and don't push the system, I do feel that they conveyed what they wanted to convey without going too detailed. You can move around Tokyo a lot, and you can interact with the side areas. And it's a big map, and big caves, and big sewers. There's a lot to explore here. And the controls are pretty smooth. I never had difficulty controlling the animals, although I do wish that they didn't always crouch automatically in the brush. But that's not a controller issue. Now the downside. Many of the 50 creatures that you can play are just the same, and for many, there's very little difference to matter in which one you choose. Also, once you get the items that you're looking for in the survival mode, you can't just quit and save the game to play the unlocked chapter in story mode. In fact, I haven't found a save mode in survival mode at all. You've got to play it all the way through in one sitting. And you have to play it out and eventually die before you can go into the story mode. Now mind you, that's not necessarily bad, but it can be annoying when you just want to play the next chapter. I can see many people killing their animal off just to go on, even though they should try to get as many points as they can, since those act like money in this game, and they unlock things. But is it a you can play this? Can you play it without resorting to FAQs and walkthroughs? Well, yes, for the most part. This game is in Japanese, and so you will lose the storyline and the history of what happened to the humans. And some of the goals in the story mode will be harder to understand, like in this one where you have to bring back a kill to your family at the end of chapter 2. You may just think that you have to kill all the animals out there. And quests during survival mode will be nigh impossible to complete because you don't know what you're supposed to do to complete them. Now, they only count for points and for unlocking new animals, and you don't die if you don't complete them, so there is that. But would I suggest that you get it now from the Japanese PSN store? Well, the great thing is that this game has been announced for release this year in the US and the EU, so you could just wait and get it when it releases then. And I personally cannot wait to see what people think of it. I know that I'm going to be picking up the US version when it releases. Now, it's different, it's unique, and it's fun. When I first started playing it, the hours just flew by. One moment it was 3:30, and then the next moment it was 8:15, and I still wanted to play more. It's an interesting game concept, and I actually do wonder how it'll do outside of Japan. Now, I can totally see that people are going to complain about animal cruelty here. You can just feel it. But think of it this way. Just take your favorite survival action game, take out the people, and substitute in lions and tigers and Pomeranians.
Oh my.